Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Chris, and welcome back to once again another episode of Survivor Podcast with my good friend Gocubs 711.
I spent my entire life savings on Michigan State.
Oh my God! March Madness, man. We need to do a March Madness episode. Not
I
obviously
can't.
next year.
No, I can't go through that.
Not this year, but next year. That would be amazing.
Don't do this to me.
By the way, worth noting that Butler is leading Virginia right now.
Oh.
It's all chaos. It's great. Alright, welcome back to Survivor Podcast, a show that's a I guess a little bit less stressful than March Madness, just a teensy bit.
You don't fucking put money on it. I didn't actually put money on it, don't worry.
Oh my God, I could not. I can't be that bold to put money down for March Madness. So yes, we had quite a good episode of Survivor. A lot of things have changed now, so let's dive right into it. So last week, Beast Mode left because of medical evacuation.
Sad.
And Alicia she was booted easily because it was
I had
the
the
obvious
perfect
call.
week.
You had and Gocubs had the perfect week. So the fun starts in this new episode off the morning after Tribal at the Brain Tribe, where Joe has a pretty gross wound on his finger. And then Peter now is going to use his doctorly ways to help take care of him. And he's basically trying to be more social with the tribe and everything. And Neil's not buying it, referring to him as a cancer, which I thought was a little bit of a low blow. But, you know, Neil's Neil. He's a weirdo. So... yeah, and so that's Peter's strategy, is to basically to socialize with them until some sort of tribe swap where Merge is going to come, and then he's going to just try to take them off one by one. So later, Neil's like, okay, I need to go find this immunity idol, so that way Peter cannot find it. And lo and behold, he's just able to pull it out of nowhere. he finds it immediately in a tree. The note is saying that it's buried below you. He goes up, he gets the key, he opens up the chest, and it's there. He finds out the idol twist and everything.
So fast.
It was very quick, and I was just like, good on Neil. He's on the map now. Really good. So he got quite the scoop.
Oh, because he sells ice cream.
Yes. So we we next see all the tribes meeting at the beach, preparing for what might be a reward challenge, but it is not. It is a tribe switch, which is always a blast. So they basically were like, okay, it's going to be the yellow tribe and the blue tribe, because the red tribe, it sucks. So what we're going to do is have these two tribes, and because there's an uneven number, because of Caleb being medically evacuated, one person will get a red, will be put on the red tribe, and essentially...
and immediately be sent out of the game.
Yeah. Oh... That's not, I was not expecting you to say that. No, well, actually, that would be funny, actually. I would not mind that. I'd just be like, yeah, why not? Let's go. But they would actually be sent back to the Toting tribe, where they would have to stay alone at that tribe site until after the tribal council for the next time. They get immunity. They don't have to go. They are safe, but they have to go
They don't
away.
get to form any new alliances.
Right, exactly. And then they'll be put on the losing tribe once they go through tribal council and everything. So they go ahead and they draw their buffs and everything, and the new Gondol is Aubrey, Joe, Ty, Anna, Peter, and Scott. And the new Chang Lao is Sydney, Michelle, Nick, Neil, Debbie, and Jason, which leaves our age, Julia. Getting the odd one out, which I was just like, wow, the youngest there is gonna have to go and live alone, which again could actually not be that bad for her, but I mean, we would have to see what happens.
It's only a few days.
Yeah.
Also, Jeff Probst pointed this out during the show, but it was cool how the split of the tribe, the new Chan Lo ended up being 2-2-2.
Yes, that's right.
And the Gondol ended up being 3-2-1.
Yeah, with the brain being the majority in the Gondol tribe. And it was very interesting, and I think that's why. I don't know, like it'll be interesting to see later on in this episode how the balance versus imbalance works. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
So, anyways, Julia is sent off. Unfortunately, cannot form any alliances with anyone. And her alliance was split anyway. Michelle was sent over to Shen Lao, and Anna's over at Gondol. So that whole group is split up no matter what. So she can only hope that they all stay together through the next tribal council. So, and next we go on to Gondol, the new Gondol tribe. The Brains are very impressed in the former beauty camp. Peter is psyched to not be the low man on the totem pole anymore. He tells us it'll be no problem making the merch. Because, that's just how it works for Peter. And so then Scott is not really thrilled to be without his brawny buddies. But he has been on 5 different NBA teams, so he's used to partnering with former opponents. And Scott's also used to, being a bench warmer. So, I just keep on taking shots at Scott for no reason whatsoever.
Scott did nothing wrong.
Aubrey and Peter talk strategy, and he points out that if they lose a challenge, a former beauty will be joining them. So, and then Aubrey's just kind of like, okay, but how can I still trust you? So, I think that she got what Peter was coming from, but she was also like, really? Why are you telling me this?
Yeah.
At Chan Lao, the new Chan Lao,
Is it
Michelle.
Chan Lao or Chan Lo?
It could be Chan Lo because it's OH. But I think
LOH. Is there an A in there?
No way.
All right, then I don't think it would be Lao.
Yeah, Chan Lo. Michelle gets to say some things, and she for the first time ever. She's bummed that her female alliance has been split in 3. Essentially, they're all on the different tribes. Debbie, meanwhile, is doing her best to get in with the former Brawnies. So she pitches bouncing a former beauty first, and it seems like Sydney and Jason are both into it. Later on, Nick tries to make it inroads with Jason. Nick informs us that he's the best at being manipulative, because Nick is a cocky son of a bitch.
Thanks, Nick, for all that you've done in your tribal councils so far that have made game-changing plays. Oh, wait.
Yes, we can totally...
You haven't had that opportunity yet.
We can totally see your manipulative ways when you get 1 second of camera time. So, back at Gondol.
Maybe you have. Maybe you will be, but...
Maybe.
You don't have proof yet.
No proof yet. You just haven't proved it. Back at Gondol. Everyone's loving them some Thai, as we all have. All aboard that Tang train. So he and Scott work together to get coconuts, and and basically Scott and Ty have already begun like forming this bromance. So it's literally like he's gotten over Caleb already. and Scott's just like
Scott's filling the void.
Scott's filling the void. It's those muscular tattoo types that ties into. So then Anna realizes that the numbers are definitely not in her favor, so she kind of feels like the beauties are going to be like sought after. People are going to try to go after her and everything. So she then makes sure to tell everyone about how they caught Ty looking for the idols. So doesn't she like? I'm trying to remember the scene, but didn't she like stretch the truth at times? Like, yes, they definitely caught him, but like there was
Ty looking for the idol.
Yeah, because like I felt like there was a part where she was just like, where she's I'm not gonna even remember it now, but there's a part where she was like, I felt like she was like really trying to stretch it, which you gotta do. I get where she was coming from.
Right.
But then, anyways, over at Totang Beach, Julia is in really bad shape. Apparently, she's been like just dehydrated and just freaked out at being like out of the game, and she's like shaking because of the cold, and like she's been it's pretty rough for her, but she's on the plus side. Like she actually. Never mind. There is no plus side. I was gonna say that maybe like she can relax a little bit because there's now everyone running around, but she would kind of want that to make sure that she's at least informed. So I don't know. I guess there's the pluses and the minuses. But anyways, on to immunity. So, 2 players from each tribe will swim out to a net to retrieve fish-shaped puzzle pieces. When they return to the beach, 2 other players will remove the fish from the net and place them on hooks. Then 2 other players will have to figure out how to fill all the fish into a box. First tribe to complete this puzzle wins immunity. So, I feel like this was like the 4th out of like maybe 5 episodes that we've seen that. We've had a challenge where it's swimming in the water to get stuff and then coming back and doing a puzzle challenge.
You are so fucking right.
Yeah, I feel like this is like, it's just
like I know, I was like, okay, we've kind of like seen this before, but I never realized how fucking many they were.
It's just so often. Like, I felt like the only thing they changed, like in the past few times that they've done it, that this time around the puzzle pieces were fishes. So,
yep,
yeah, I don't know what Survivor's doing, but that's fine. That's fine. But essentially, it goes back and forth and back and forth, and Shan Lo pulls out the immunity, which sends Gondel off to camp and off to tribal council.
Yep.
So, back at camp, we learn that Ty is, of course, considering using his idol, because there may be a target on his back, so who knows.
Okay, can I start my talking thing now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so, Ty and Anna were talking a bit, trying to figure out how to, like, save themselves. All 3 of the brains are like, hey, if we vote out one of the beauties, then we won't have 3 versus 3 with the new beauty coming back in. So Ty and Anna are thinking, hey, what if you play your idol and then vote out Peter, which would have been a really big play. But then Scott goes up to Ty, and he's like, hey, dude, I think you're safe tonight. Don't play your idol, and save it with you. Yeah. So 5 votes. So we'll get to tribal later. I'm sorry, I kind of.
That's fine.
But
that's fine.
Because of what's going to happen, and because of what Scott did there, Scott is now my favorite former athlete Survivor player.
Yeah, and I will say this though, we didn't actually get to the part. They actually, so Ty did end up revealing that he had the idol, which was a
Yeah.
shock to me at first, but I realized how good of a play it actually was, because you're kind of in this hole, and if you reveal that you have an idol, maybe you can have the people that you're talking to feel like a sense of security around you. So I thought that was a really good play on his part. So he did that in front of Anna and Scott, and they decided that they decided this plan to maybe go after Peter, and Scott played it well. He absolutely played it well,
Yep.
and he said just don't use it, because Scott knew that if he could get rid of Anna, then maybe he can have Ty even be closer to him,
Hmm.
and they can maybe team up now to go after Peter and like get him out next. So who knows? Who knows what the next plan is? And maybe Julia will team up with Ty too. Which by the way, very interesting concept that I want to bring up before we keep on going. Julia is gonna come back, and she's gonna see that one of her closest allies is out. So who does she blame that on? Will she blame that on Ty for not using the idol? Will she blame it on the Brain Tribe for not
Good point.
keeping her?
Good point.
So
You
this
got good
is
good points, kid.
it will be very interesting to see what she does. It's 6 versus 6. If or 6 versus 6, it's 6 people in general, right? So it could be like a
Yes.
3v3 or a 4v2 if Julia decides to just hop onto the Brain Tribe and go after Scott and Ty, or they can have Julia join their side, Ty and Scott, and maybe even get Aubrey or Joe to jump over to vote out Peter. It's very interesting. I think this is a very good. This twist that happened could actually be one of the biggest turning points, at least for this tribe, because who knows who she'll go with, so
Right.
it's going to be very interesting. So now we head to camp, and
Tribal.
we had to tribal. That's what I meant. um,
You're trying. That's all
yeah,
that matters.
yeah. So Aubrey admits that she wants to stick with the people that she knows. So that's Joe and I guess Peter, even though she doesn't really like him. Um, Anna realizes that she and Ty are the targets because Julia is joining the tribe. Ty agrees. Ty takes the pitch, or makes the pitch rather, that he's the hardest worker at camp. He even works off scabs he's gotten from this work, which was probably one of the funniest scenes when he was gonna say, "Do you want to
Jeff, this is my scab. No, I believe you.
hey, look?" And he just still shows him anyway.
It's right here.
So Joe thinks the twist for the season is that there are no idols.
Joe, you're wrong.
Joe
You're
is
fucking wrong.
Joe is just he is just there. He exists. Ty says he never find the idol because he's terrible at looking for things. Um, and Ty, I was very worried that Ty was gonna give himself up there, but it was okay. Everything seems fine. And Peter doesn't think that Brawn and Brains would partner up against them, so so all he thinks is that he would be a-okay. He'll all be safe. So
Yep.
now we get to the voting. No votes are shown, and it's one vote for Peter, and the rest go to
And
Anna. There you go. I was one trying to find her picture, and at the same time was trying to.
I heard the rapid clicking.
I also was trying to get you to say it. So Anna's gone.
And it goes home.
I mean, I feel that this was the first time
Forced
that
to
I've.
bungee jump into the river of despair as she picks up her shame token to take the train home.
What the fuck are you talking about? So yeah, like I guess you kind of had that feeling when she really started. She started like really getting a lot of like coverage this episode. So a lot of the times when people get a lot of coverage, they end up getting booted.
Yep.
But I feel like that she was gonna go after Ty just because of the fact that it was going to be Brain versus, rather Beauty versus Beauty, in the Gondel tribe. So, I was kind of glad that she went, but at the same time, maybe the three of them, Scott, Ty, and Anna, could have made a good team and gotten out Peter. So who knows?
Maybe.
I don't know, but
They didn't.
they didn't, and she's
Now
gone.
we move on to next week.
Yeah. So bye-bye, Vanessa. So
long.
now we go on to our predictions. Now we get to just choose between two tribes, which is very nice because the ordering was fun but hard to figure out. So
Salmon.
I think you and I agree on who's going to win. Which is who exactly?
Gondel.
Yes, I agree. I think the Gondel's going to win. By the way, I'm showing this image. This is the original Gondel. It's the yellow tribe. You get it. So, anyways.
Should put up a picture of the buff and just the buff.
Yeah, just the buff. Gondel wins is just like a piece of fabric on the ground. So now let's find out who we think will be going home this week. Go Cubs, you may begin.
All right, so it's obvious. Well, since Gondel wins, it's obviously going to be someone on the Chanlo tribe, and well, I think that if the idea of okay, it's the brains and then the beauty and then the brawn get to choose which side, based on the pairs. I think the brawn are going to go with the brain, and I think those four are going to try to get out someone on the beauty, and I think they might use Nick for challenges for whatever fucking reason, and vote out. I was on a roll. Vote out Michelle. There, that's her name.
Yeah, Michelle that's your choice, and I think it's going to be the opposite. I think Nick and Jason, they started forming a bond this past episode. I think that they may become close. Nick and Michelle will obviously be a team. Sydney will join up with Jason, and they'll team up to go against. And this is the third or fourth week in a row that she's been on her elimination block. But Debbie is gonna go.
Only the third time overall that she has been.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Second week in a row.
Second week in a row. Okay, I feel like she's always here. We always want to try to get her out.
For good reason.
Yes. So Debbie, she keeps on saying that she's the one in charge of the camp and she's the one making all the moves. It would be very thrilling to me if she's the one that gets booted after all. So who knows what will actually happen? But I agree that Gondel will lose, but I believe the brains will be on the outs in that tribe. Yep. And that is that. That is the fifth or sixth episode. I believe it's the fifth.
We've done week 5.
Yes, this is episode 5. Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's 5 episodes in. I wonder if they're gonna pull we're gonna keep these tribes for about 2 episodes and then merge type thing.
I mean, probably. There's 12 of them left.
Right. Well, you know what I also think they can do is. They may do 2 more eliminations, so they'll do 2 more weeks of the tribes and then do a merge because that way it's I guess the equalness doesn't really matter. Never mind. I don't know. I would say in the next few weeks.
It used to just be okay, final 9. The merge always happened at 9. Now you don't know when it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's always it's always oh, we're just gonna do it right here. They don't merge until final 5. Oh God, that would suck. All right, well that's it for this episode. I hope
starting now. I don't know if I started this last week or 2 weeks ago, but I'm gonna give a quick show/movie recommendation.
I think that you did it last week. I just forget what it was.
I know 2 weeks ago I said Zootopia, but I don't think I said anything for last week.
Okay, so go ahead.
This week, if you have any interest in classical music, and even if you don't and kind of want to learn more about it, go watch Mozart in the Jungle. It's on Amazon Instant Video. I've been binging it all day. It's fucking fantastic.
There you go. That is the Gocubs recommendation of the week. We'll make that a segment. Well, I'll try to make a little graphic and everything. That'll be the finale to every podcast. I was also thinking about this, and just before we finish it off, I wonder if we'd like just to do a casual podcast. Like,
Oh,
we
dude, I've got that in the works.
like I feel like that would be fun just to just hang out, just talk about random topics, nothing
Yeah,
like
no,
extreme.
I've actually like got that in the works for like a thing that I was planning on doing.
All right, well, we can't wait
Don't
to
know when I'm
see.
starting it though.
Well, I'll be here if you want to guest or host or whatever.
Oh, you're gonna be like 50% of the guests.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
So long.